After trout eggs have been deposited and fertilized, they are usually covered with gravel. The length of time required for a trout egg to hatch depends upon the water temperature. The warmer the water temperature, the less time it will take for the eggs to hatch. Eggs that are laid in the fall and the water is cold nearly always remain in the gravel all winter and hatch in the spring or early summer when the temperatures increase. When the eggs hatch, the eggshell breaks open and the little fish emerges carrying its sack of yolk, and for several weeks that is all the food it has to eat. When the yolk has been absorbed, they work their way up through the gravel and start to look for tiny aquatic animals to eat. Once the young trout are on its own, it can no longer depend upon yolk for food. Both small and large trout eat a variety of foods like insects, fingerling, and even though they are carnivorous, bits of plant material that have been found in their stomachs. When trout eat, they grow, but the speed of its growth may vary from 3 inches to less than over a foot a year. The variation of its growth per year makes it hard to tell how old a specific trout is.
Now, you mentioned that you raise several different kinds of fish here. How many different kinds do you raise?
We have 3 different species of trout. We have brook trout, rainbows, and brown trout.
Okay, how do you tell them apart?
Well, it's pretty easy when they're adults like this. You can see some of the fish in here have big spots and little yellow on their belly.
Okay.
Those are the browns. You can see some in there with a faint, kind of a pinkish reddish stripe going down their middle line. Those are our rainbows. And the ones with white on the edges of their fins, and they're a little smaller in here. And instead of having spots on their back, they kind of have this mottled look. Those are the brook trout.
Okay, well, how big are these fish here?
There's a lot of different sizes in here. The biggest ones are about 10 to 12 pounds.
So why is it so important to stock the streams and lakes with fish?
Well, trout fishing is very popular. There's a lot of people out there that like to go. We've got some great streams around here, but there's more fishermen than there are trout. In some aspects, it could be easily depleted if it wasn't watched carefully. So by us putting trout out there, we provide fish for people to catch, a recreational opportunity, and it takes a lot of the pressure off of the wild populations that are out there too.
Great. Well, do you think it's possible that I see some of those fish going into the streams?
Yeah, we'll be doing some stocking later on today.
Okay, well, let's go look at that.
Okay.